I believe in the sun. I believe in the sun, even when it's not shining.
Welcome to worship here at Oaks United Methodist Church. We are in the season of purple. So we will be filming our worship series safely in the confines of our sanctuary with just a few people present, but we ask that you enjoy it fully in the color season of Advent as you prepare your hearts and homes for the coming of the Lord, that you prepare that in a way in which we would do that here. So break out your Christmas gear, put on the hot cocoa, put on your snuggy pajamas, and watch worship with us this morning. We extend a special welcome to those who are single, married, divorced, poly,
gay, trans, queer, straight, cis,
filthy rich, dirt poor, live in a mansion, or sleeping outside right now.
Yo no habla inglés. We welcome you if your family has been here since the Mayflower or you just got here last week without papers.
We extend a special welcome to those who have just rolled out of bed and are watching in their pajamas.
Or have worn your Sunday best.
And especially those who got lost on social media and wound up here by mistake.
we welcome those who are in recovery or are still addicted.
You are welcome here if you help protect and serve or just got out of jail.
We don't care if you're more religious than the Pope or just starting out on your religious journey.
You are welcome here if you believe following Jesus is only one of many paths to spiritual enlightenment.
We welcome those who think the earth is flat,
those who can't spell, and those with multiple degrees.
We offer a special welcome to those who have been harmed by organized religion,
and those who had religion shoved down their throats as a kid,
and those who could especially use a prayer right now.
We welcome everyone,
every day.
With open hearts,
open minds,
and open doors.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, and welcome to worship at Oaks United Methodist Church. Soon and very soon, we are going to see the King. Soon and very soon, we are going to see the King. Soon and very soon, we are going to see the King. Hallelujah, hallelujah, we are going to see the King. Hope is coming soon. Hope is coming soon. We are going to see the King. Hope is coming soon. We are going to see the King. Hope is coming soon. We are going to see the King. Hallelujah, hallelujah. We're going to see the King. No more crying here. No more crying here. We are going to see the King. No more crying here. We are going to see the King. No more crying here. We are going to see the King. Hallelujah, hallelujah. We're going to see the King soon and very soon. Soon and very soon. We are going to see the King. Soon and very soon. We are going to see the King. Soon and very soon. We are going to see the King. Hallelujah, hallelujah. We're going to see the King.
This Advent, we are looking to hear words of comfort, of challenge, and of good news. The prophet Isaiah and the four gospel authors were writing in a time when people needed desperately to hear all of these as well. This first week, Isaiah, the prophet, and Mark, the gospel writer, who published first, reassure that people that good news is beginning, and yet they both say, make yourself ready. Raise your voices, change your hearts, get ready to be transformed, because now is the time. Let us embrace hope that we can do what needs to be done to bring more light into the world. Let us pray. Holy One, we thank you for the glimpses we catch of your gift of untiring hope, even in the midst of fear, of challenge, of struggle, even when our view is obscured by clouds of doubt. Ignite the flame of hope within us, that we might glow with its brilliance from the inside out. Amen.
We are going to join in a litany of belief. This may feel uncomfortable because it's the first time we've done it virtually. You may feel that your silent voice may be shaky or awkward. Maybe you haven't talked to anyone yet today, so it comes out a little wobbly. That's okay. Maybe it comes out nice and strong because you firmly believe in what we are saying. We welcome that voice too. At Fair Oaks UMC, it doesn't matter what your voice is. It's always welcome here. So join us in the litany of belief. You'll notice the next screen will have your response to what I'm saying. Join in and know that you are not alone. You are joined by your church members and members who you have not yet met who are watching virtually as well. Join with me in the litany of belief. In time when humanity disappoints, perhaps even when our own thoughts and behaviors disappoint, it's important to act, to call out, to name, to claim the consequences of our own wrongs. And in times of distress, it is prophetic to act, to call out, to name, claim our beliefs in the hope for tomorrow. Here we gather with our statements of belief. I believe that we have looked the other way too many times, and I believe that we are capable of facing reality and working for change. I believe that our fear of difference has robbed us of compassion, and I believe that we can look deeper and hold on to the things we have in common. I believe that our fear of doubt makes us stop asking tough questions, and I believe that asking tough questions in the face of injustice is faithful. We believe even when we are discouraged. We believe that when we are discouraged, raising our voices for justice will offer us hope. I invite you to be in a comfortable position of rest. I invite you to get as quiet and still as you can. I invite you into a deep breath and deep listening posture. Perhaps your eyes are closed or fixed on a candle as we prepare for that time of prayer. We pray, gracious God, for the brokenness that we experience within ourselves, for the brokenness that we have in relationship. We offer this up for healing to you. Gracious God, we believe in a world that is worth your redemption. We believe that a small voice in a manger called out and changed the world, and our small voice still matters. We hold those whose voice, whose spirit, whose bodies have been broken. We lift them up to you. We also lift up those who have found a way to find joy in the midst of the chaos, to dance in the kitchen, to sing out loud, to garden in the sun, to walk with sured steps, to call with a friendly voice, to serve with their hands, to pray with their heart, to write letters of encouragement. We offer them up and we give thanks for them and us being your people. Amen.
Good morning. It's It's Children's Time, and I'm Miss Dedra. Fraser's not here this morning. He's out of school this week, so his sleep schedule is a little wacky. So it's just me today. We're starting something new. We'll do a little sign language too, don't worry. But it's the first Sunday of Advent, and so I wanted to talk about some ways we can all do Advent wreaths and Advent candle lighting at home. Normally, we'd all be here in the sanctuary, and we would all be able to watch or participate in lighting our Advent wreath up here on the chancel area. But at home, some of you may already have Advent wreaths at home that you can light with us on Sunday mornings. Maybe you'd want to do it at dinner time instead when the whole family's around the table. Start a new tradition, make a new way of doing Advent candle lighting rather than waiting for Sunday sanctuary in church, because it's not going to happen this year. So we have Advent in a bag. You can pick one of these up from the church, give us a call, we'll get one to you somehow, mail it to you, drop it off at your house. We'll make sure you get one if you want one. In the Advent bag, we have little electric candles, so you can make your own Advent wreath at home, and you can kind of set it up any way you like. So we have the 3 purple candles, and the pink candle, and the Christ candle. And on your little instruction sheet, I put the list in order. So we go hope, love, joy, peace, and the Christ candle is Christmas Eve, so it's last. You line them up in a straight row. You can make a wreath out of them like this one. And then put the Christ candle in the middle, however you'd like to do it. So, but one thing you need to remember, these were shipped with a little piece of paper in them so that the batteries don't die while they're being jostled around being shipped. So you need to take the top off, take out the little piece of paper of each one, and then you can discard it. You don't need to keep it for any reason. And then put the top back on. And twist it, and there we go. And now it's on. And when you want it off, you just twist it a little bit to off. And there we go. And now we lit our candle of hope, the same as on here. So, also in the Advent bag is the same litany that Paris read for us today. So you can follow along with that on Sunday mornings, or do it daily on your own at home, or Friday night, or whatever works for your schedule. So, sign language. Can't forget the sign language. All right, today we lit the candle of hope. Candle, put your finger like it's the candle in front of your mouth, and then take your hand like this, and you touch it to your palm, kind of wiggle your fingers, because these are the flames. So it's like, here's the candle, here's the flames. So that's candle. Hope, I think we've learned before in a scripture, you point at your head, and then your hands are kind of off like this, and then you kind of wave them like that. So it's hope. So today we have lit the candle of hope. And I love you.
Hope is a star that shines in the night, leading us on till the morning is bright. When God is a child, there's joy in our song. The last shall be first, and the weak shall be strong, and none shall be afraid.
Peace is a ribbon that circles the earth, giving a promise of safety and worth. When God is a child, there's joy in our song. The last shall be first, and the weak shall be strong, and none shall be
that the Savior is born. When God is a child, there's joy in our song. The last shall be first, and the weak shall be strong, and none shall be afraid. Love is the flame that burns in our hearts. Jesus has come and will never depart. When God is a child, there's joy in our song. The last shall be first, and the weak shall be strong, and none shall be
Hi, welcome to Oaks United Methodist Church. My name is Wicker, and I'll be our liturgist for today. Our first scripture reading is Isaiah chapter 40, verses 1 through 11. Comfort, comfort my people, says your God. Speak compassionately to Jerusalem, and proclaim to her that her compulsory service is ended, that her penalty has been paid, that she has received from the Lord's hand double for all her sins. A voice is crying out, clear the Lord's way in the desert, make a level highway in the wilderness for our God. Every valley will be raised up, and every mountain and hill will be flattened. Uneven ground will become level, and rough terrain a valley plain. The Lord's glory will appear, and all humanity will see it together. The Lord's mouth has commanded it. A voice was saying, call out. And another said, what should I call out? All flesh is grass. All its loyalty is like the flowers of the field. The grass dries up, and the flower withers, when the Lord's breath blows on it. Surely the people are grass. The grass dries up, the flower withers, but our God's word will exist forever. Go up on a high mountain, messenger Zion. Raise your voice and shout, messenger Jerusalem. Raise it. Do not be afraid, say to the cities of Judah, here is your God. Here is the Lord God, coming with strength, with a triumphant arm, bringing his reward with him and his payment before him. Like a shepherd, God will tend the flock. He will gather lambs in his arms and lift them onto his lap. He will gently guide the nursing ewes. Our second scripture reading is Mark chapter 1, verses 1 through 15. The beginning of the good news about Jesus Christ, God's Son, happened just as it was written about in the prophecy of Isaiah. Look, I am sending my messenger before you. He will prepare your way. A voice shouting in the wilderness, prepare the way for the Lord. Make his paths straight. John the Baptist was in the wilderness calling for people to be baptized to show that they were changing their hearts and lives and wanted God to forgive their sins. Everyone in Judea and all the people of Jerusalem went out to the Jordan River and were being baptized by John as they confessed their sins. John wore clothes made of camel's hair with a leather belt around his waist. He ate locusts and wild honey. He announced, one stronger than I is coming after me. I'm not even worthy to bend over and loosen the strap of his sandals. I baptize you with water, but he will baptize you with the Holy Spirit. About that time, Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee, and John baptized him in the Jordan River. While he was coming up out of the water, Jesus saw heaven splitting open, and the Spirit, like a dove, coming down on him. And there was a voice from heaven, you are my Son, whom I dearly love. In you I find happiness. At once the Spirit forced Jesus out into the wilderness. He was in the wilderness for 40 days, tempted by Satan. He was among the wild animals, and the angels took care of him. After John was arrested, Jesus came into Galilee announcing God's good news, saying, now is the time. Here comes God's kingdom. Change your hearts and lives and trust this good news. God bless the reading of his holy word. Thanks be to God.
May the meditation of each of our hearts and the words of my mouth be with you, gracious God. Amen. We are in difficult times that it felt like right before these times were difficult to imagine, something we couldn't wrap our brain around. Christmas without singing. As we approach the season of carols this year, there are lots of we wonder. We wonder, will Santa still travel house to house? We wonder, how will our nights be silent? How will we light our candles and sing Silent Night? But what if we enter into new possibilities? We enter into a possibility of, instead of turning away from this moment in sorrow, we embrace it and turn our attention towards the stories of the human spirit that's always been accompanied by the power of God's love and God's creation. That's the story of Jesus, born in a manger, an impossible situation in which God chose to enter into the world. It's the human spirit that's been accompanied by the power of music to eliminate the night. It's been the image of Jesus reaching out to those most in need that's allowed them to survive difficult times. What if we found other ways, unforgettable ways, to fill the void left by our loss? What if we begin to have a new appreciation, not for the big grand gestures, but for the small ones? Small of a baby crying in the midst of the night with no one around but the mother, the father, some lowly animals underneath the stars. What if we gain more insight about the significance of Jesus's birth, a life that was a way in which many people were able to experience new life? As we can look on our human history, it's fraught with pain, especially the pain that comes with fears and leads to oppression and violence of one people against another. This is the world in which Jesus was born, and through which his teachings challenge us and call us to transformation, for us to become new people, to be made in God's image, to be disciples. The opening words of the anonymous Jewish poet, "I believe in the sun, even when the sun is not shining," were scrawled in the wall of on a wall during the Holocaust. This theme song for our season calls us to examine our fear, but also our deep wondering for what God has in store. The power of narrative and music call us in different response, transforming and reconciling through hope, love, joy, and peace. This Advent and Christmas, let us fill the night with music and light and affirm and act on all the reasons while we can still believe, even when we are discouraged. Turn on your Pandora station, turn on YouTube Christmas music, sing along and dance, ring your jingle bells. It may seem that if we're already in a season of waiting and hoping, and we have been there for 8 months, so entering into a new season of waiting and hoping may seem redundant. You may say, "Pastor Kim, I've already been hoping, I've already been praying, I've already been waiting. How can I turn around and do this again?" It's difficult for us to conceive it for ourselves, and let alone other people, to somehow find love, joy, and peace in this difficult time. My prayer for you is that you'll tend gently to yourself and your friends, and that you're surprised by the little delights that come along. I've noticed in my own life, while the coronavirus has been very difficult to live with, I've begun to have a new appreciation for the small things. The crinkled eyes of a stranger whose face is masked, the joy of taking long walks, the silence that surrounds us, the ability to connect with people across the world via Zoom. So as you tend to yourself and your friends, remind yourself that the Spirit alights in our heart and prepares us for what is next. In a year post-2020, my deep hope is that the rest of the story is part of this. Whatever you're going through, the most difficult parts will end, and there will be a new beginning. I can promise you that, because in your life so far, that's always been true. This moment in history will transform us in important ways, and in the mindset of growing, there will also be groaning. All I can say is keep your eyes open. The Spirit will give us what we need, and when our eyes are open and our hearts are open, we will see and know what we are called and what we are called to proclaim and what to do. When you see something and it causes you a sense of anxiety, when you're living in a state of fear, my tendency is to look it straight in the eye and repeat the words that we hear over and over and over again in the Bible. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. This Sunday is the Sunday of hope. And both of these texts come out of a time when people needed hope for a new day. Isaiah was writing to people in exile. You feel bad because you can't go about your life. Imagine being in exile as he was writing to these people. They were called, and we are called, to transform the fear of the human petulant for destroying one another and insisting to seek recognition and reconciliation, for us to change our inner dwellings so that the fighting outside can also cease. When we clear space in our heart for God, we are also clearing space for one another. The fear that we have, the animosity that we have, the tendency to want to destroy one another for our own life purposes. It's the fruit of violence. We're not the first to experience it, nor will we be the last. When we're in the depths of despair and when fear raises its head, we know that humans will choose to do this. But I wonder if, in the midst of this moment, if we're willing to make another choice about how we will overcome evil, hope for joy, and raise our voices to proclaim it another way to one another and in true worship of God. Amen.
Oh, come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel that mourns in lonely exile here until the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Oh, come thou wisdom from on high, and order all things far and nigh. To us the path of knowledge show, and cause us in her ways to grow. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel.
After your Thanksgiving, we also want to give thanks for you, for your support during these most challenging months. 2020 is a unique year, and together we continue to journey through these days, weeks, and months. Your participation in our virtual programs, your financial support, your calls and emails give us hope to realize the value and the true meaning of this sacred ministry. Many of you have said that Fair Oaks UMC has been your lifeline during this pandemic, and you have been our lifeline. You remind us that each moment is just as precious in Fair Oaks UMC and its ministry, and how much is really needed in our world. While Thanksgiving celebrations may be different this year, the gratitude is still abundant. We have so much to be grateful for, to celebrate, and to look forward to in the future. We know that together we journey through faith, and we are never alone. So we trust in peace, contemplation, and hospitality that are the hallmarks of deepening discipleship and give us the strength that we need. We trust in God's providential care and abiding love. We ask that you join us in the season of Advent for drive-through communion that will be held here at the church. We want to go through this to journey alongside one another. And may you and your loved ones have a safe holiday season. Be assured our prayers are with you as we hope you place us in your prayers and in your hearts as well. Thank you.
Oh.